Hello everyone, this is Grade 1, Module 6, Lesson 27 homework. The directions for the homework is use RDW to solve, meaning read the word problem, draw a tape diagram or double tape diagram and label, write a number sentence and a statement that matches the story. And they gave us a sample tape diagram off to the side to help us out with a number sentence below. So let's take a look at we'll do questions 1 and 2 on this page. The first one says, 8 students lined up to go to art. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is cross off that word 8 and write the number. That'll help me out. Some more lined up to go to music. Then there were 12 students in line. How many students lined up to go to music? So I'm going to start by putting down my statement or my answer sentence or my target sentence or my answer statement, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to put that down first. And there it is at the bottom, and it says blank students lined up for music, because that's what we're looking for. So we have our 8 students that lined up for art. Some more came. We don't know how many more. But more of them came, and all of a sudden, we had 12. So what we're looking for is that missing, that question mark. How many lined up for music? Well, I know when I look at this tape diagram, it looks like a number bond, with my 12 being the whole and my 8 and question mark being the parts. And I know that if I have the whole and I'm missing a part, I'm going to have to subtract. So 12 minus 8, my whole amount minus my part, is going to equal another part. So I can use any strategy I need to go 12 minus 8, and I'm going to end up with 4. And that's how many students lined up for music. So I'm going to fill that in my statement. 4 students lined up for music. We're now going to take a look down at the next question. So let's go to 2. And it said, Peter rode his bike 5 blocks. Rose rode her bike 13 blocks. How much shorter was Peter's ride? I'm going to start with my statement. And there it is. Peter's ride was blank blocks shorter. So now we're going to do our drawing. And Peter, I know, rode 5 blocks. Rose rode 13 blocks. And I'm trying to match up my tapes there, so they all have the same starting point. So now I got to figure out how much shorter it was, meaning how many more blocks does Peter need to go to equal Rose? Well, he's already gone 5. He needs to go that many to get to Rose, who is at 13 blocks. So again, when I do this drawing, I see that I have my whole amount, and I have a part, and I'm missing another part. So I can now write my statement. I have the whole, I subtract a part away, the 5, and that's going to give me my other part. So again, the 13 is the whole amount, and that goes here. The part that I know goes there, and now I got to find my missing part, which is the how much shorter did Peter ride. So I can use any of those strategies I know to do 13 minus 5, and I'm going to end up with 8. So Peter's ride was 8 blocks shorter. Let's take a look over at the next page. And here we are on page 2. And for this one, we'll do questions 4 and 6. So let's start with 4, and we're going to use the same directions we had. We're going to use our RDW process, our redraw right. And number 4 says, the team counted 11 soccer balls inside the net. They counted 5 fewer soccer balls outside the net. So we have 11 inside and 5 fewer outside. How many soccer balls were outside of the net? Well, the first thing I want to do is get my answer statement, or my statement that matches, down. And there it is right there. It says there were blank fewer soccer balls outside the net. Now we need to draw our tape diagrams. So inside, I know that there are 11 soccer balls. Outside, it says that there were 5 fewer. So if I draw the whole amount, which is 11, and I take away the 5, because there's 5 fewer, that's going to give me how many are outside of the net. So again, I have my whole amount of 11, and then it tells me that there were 5 fewer outside, so that's a part, and then my missing, which is how many were actually outside of the net. So if I take how many were outside the net, my missing, right here, and add 5 to it, because there were 5 fewer, I'll get 11. So I have my whole amount of 11, and I'm going to subtract one of the parts, the part that's given, which is 5, and that's going to get me my other part, which is the number of soccer balls outside the net. I can use any strategy to go 11 minus 5, and I'll end up with 6. And we'll say 6 what? So we need to put that into our answer statement. There were 6 fewer soccer balls outside the net. Now let's take a look at the last question, number 6. And it says, some students were eating lunch. 4 students joined them. So I'm going to write the number 4. Now there are 17 students eating lunch. How many students were eating lunch in the beginning? So I'm going to put down my statement. So there's my statement at the bottom. Blank students were eating lunch in the beginning. And I know that there were some students. We don't know how many. But then 4 joined. And I know that it says now there are 17 students, meaning with the ones that were there in the beginning and the 4 that joined, we have 17 students total eating. And I can see that I'm given a whole amount now, so I know the whole measurement of my tape diagram, which is 17. And I have one of the parts, which is the 4 students who joined. I now need to find the other part, which is the students that were eating at the beginning. So I'm trying to find one of the parts of this. So I know to find a part, I can subtract. I have my whole amount, which is 17, minus my part that I know, which is 4. And that's going to give me my missing part, which is how many students were eating lunch in the beginning. So I can do anything to get me 17 minus 4, any of those strategies I know. And when I do that, I'll get 13. And now I got to put it into my statement down below. 13 students were eating lunch in the beginning. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and good luck on the rest of your homework.